What's going on, YouTube? This is Mixtape, back to bring y'all some new content about a potential trade of Westbrook going to the Lakers. Sit back, relax. Let's dive into it. So the trade would be Westbrook coming from the Wizards, going to the Lakers, and the last thing that was spoke on would be Kuz, Harrell, and the pick, and I believe KCP as well, going to Washington for Westbrook. Now, I believe it'll work. And putting aside my Laker fan, I believe it works on the fact that with Westbrook, he can control the ball a little bit more. I felt like Schroeder, he did a good job with the ball to a certain extent, but I just think Westbrook is a better player. And with his skill set and how he does things, I think that, well, what was shown on film last year was, yeah, the team couldn't shoot the shots, but Westbrook will definitely help defensively, and him still being a star, in my eyes at least, I think that it can help LeBron get off the ball and help make plays. You know, it won't be relying on LeBron to make plays because Schroeder didn't make a lot of plays like that. Westbrook can get you a triple-double when needed. If LeBron sits out for rest, not that he does it often, but if he does, you still have Westbrook and AD where, you know, that can hold you over for, you know, however long it needs to. You know, and if Westbrook is out, you still have LeBron and Anthony Davis. I don't know what the rest of the team would look like, but I assume that there's got to be some more things going on behind the scenes. But that was what was projected today. I seen something also on Twitter. I don't know if, you know, it could be done, but the details on that one was the Lakers would get Westbrook and Buddy Hield. And the Kings will get Montrez and Kuz and the pick in tonight's draft from the Lakers, the number 22 pick. And the Wizards would get KCP, and they would do a sign and trade to get Schroeder to the Wizards and give Schroeder a 4-year, $77 million contract. So there's no guarantee on that deal. I'm sure Rob Pelinka and almost every Laker fan would love to get that deal to go through. That would be an amazing deal. I don't know if that will happen, but I do believe Westbrook will be a Laker before the start of the season, seeing that that's what's been rumored and talked about. And it's really been either Buddy Hield or Westbrook. But if you can get Schroeder on a sign and trade deal, that's going to address your two biggest issues, and that may become hard capped. I'm not into the numbers as per se with that, but I do believe that with that, you get a sign and trade for Schroeder. Montrez accepts his last year on his 1+1 deal. You trade in Kuz and KCP. If you was to be able to get that package of having a LeBron, AD, Westbrook, and Buddy Hield, that would be a nice combo. And it may not be fair to the league, but just look at this. The Nets, they have Kyrie, Harden, Durant, and Joe Harris. I'm not saying that the Lakers are trying to stack up with that, but man, that sure would be a nice finals to see, as far as to see a Lakers and Nets, everybody at full power, you know. And yeah, the floor spacing probably wouldn't be the exact same as it is, you know, for the Nets, but I do think that there is situations, especially in the playoffs, where, you know, Westbrook and LeBron can coincide. The floor is big enough where LeBron could be on one side of the court and Westbrook could be on one side of the court. So it keeps the defense on, in a sense, pins and needles, because if LeBron brings the ball up or he's working on one side, you have Westbrook on the other side making a cut. Or if he flings it to Westbrook on a weak side of the court, Westbrook could come out of that and make a play, whether it would be to a potential Buddy Hield or to, somebody else that they decide to sign at a veteran minimum. So we'll just see what happens. But I don't know if it'll be again tonight or tomorrow or some part of the summer, but I do believe Westbrook will be a Laker before the season starts, and I think that it can work, especially in the playoffs. Maybe in the regular season there'll be some teams that get your number just on the floor spacing and depending on the health of the rest of your team. But as far as everything else, you still have AD who can spread the floor, and they was talking about moving him to the 5, so that can help keep some floor spacing for your two guys that may not particularly shoot the greatest. And I honestly think somebody like Westbrook, he's going to take advantage of this. He's going to be hyped. He's been hyped everywhere he's went, but he's going to be re-energized. He's a kid from Cali that who knows? He doesn't speak on it, but he probably wanted to be a Laker. Me originally being born in LA, if I was a professional athlete, as far as in basketball, I would do everything possible to become a Laker. It's my favorite team ever. So I understand that part, and you never know what these guys are doing in the gym. It takes getting with the right trainer or maybe, the right situations. But you still got to think of it. Westbrook is still helping whoever he's with. You give Chris Paul a lot of the credit of him being able to change a franchise. And, Westbrook doesn't do it to the same effect. But whether you want to call him a stat pad or not, he does bring a good value to a good team. When he was with Houston, I didn't like the fit as well with Harden. But as they started to move things around to help Westbrook get more comfortable, it made a lot of sense. And, as time goes on, they fill their roster. I mean, who knows what the other trades can be? Who knows who'll become a free agent? Who knows who may get tossed in on this deal or any potential deals? You still have to think about the Warriors. They have a lot of assets where they can get somebody, and I believe they will get somebody else. The Sixers are motivated to move Ben Simmons. The Warriors have pieces again. If the Wizards get rid of Westbrook, who knows? They might get Bill to say he wants to leave. This year is not the year of the free agent as far as summer and going into the season, but it's just going to be a lot of trades. I believe there's going to be some more trades going on as far as draft picks and people wanting to get certain players. Because if you're not a team that's going to get those players, there's a strong chance that you're going to be a team that's going to want to keep rebuilding, or might find yourself rebuilding because your players want out. So tonight, as well as in the coming days of free agency starting, I believe on August 2nd, things is going to get real interesting. And, I'll definitely be doing my best to make another video whenever I hear something, give you guys a perspective of it and how it may work. I mean, I picked the Warriors to go up against because, they have a lot of shooting. So This is where the league is right now. So, yeah, it's a 3-on-3, but even in the 5-on-5 with the proper spacing, you can see this stuff happening. Westbrook throwing lobs to LeBron. LeBron throwing lobs to Westbrook. Anthony Davis throwing lobs. Anthony Davis catching lobs. I mean, you never know. If Ben Simmons leaves the Sixers, who knows? Dwight Howard is a free agent. You know, that might solve the Lakers' big man problem. Or maybe he goes to another team. Maybe he goes to the Warriors. You know, there's still a lot of key free agents that can get taken up on a cheap deal to help any team out that's right there on the brink. So this is going to be a real interesting time to watch the draft and basketball. If you don't typically watch it or you look at Twitter or whatever the case is, I highly suggest you do it because it's finna get real tricky and interesting. But this is the end of the video. We did well showing you spacing and stuff like that. Westbrook to the Lakers. You're hearing it here first. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And like the video. It helps the channel to grow. Comment and let me know what your thought process is on this. I'll talk to you later. Peace out, y'all. Thank you.